Welcome to ForeverFit.tv, your online source for fitness, nutrition and lifestyle. With your host, Nicola Riley, personal trainer, nutrition and lifestyle coach, here to help you get in the best shape of your life.
Hey, welcome to episode number 35. So today I thought I'd start off with a daily affirmation. And affirmations are something that I find incredibly powerful because they do set you up in a good frame of mind, and there's something that you can take with you throughout your day. And I do quotes up on, you'll see on my Facebook page, where I'm always creating new images to put up. And this is a great way for you just to get inspired and get motivated. And the purpose of, or the reason why I do that is to allow you to get your focus and your attention into the right space for the day ahead, because too often we're surrounded with images, and we might start a day looking on Facebook, or we might start our day watching the news, or we might look at the newspaper, and all of these things affect the thoughts and affect the outcome and what you're going to achieve in your day. But you have complete control over how you want to set your day up and the little things that you can do to make your day a really positive one. And so if you aren't on the Facebook page and you aren't checking out those daily affirmations, make sure you do, because there is a reason why I do that, and there's new images each day. And this is a tool that I take because I do a daily journaling each morning, and each morning I write down things that I want to achieve in the day, what would make today great, and I also write down affirmation for me to take throughout the day. This is also something that I've put into the boot camp, and I've given you like a downloadable affirmations for you to take, and also some morning rituals that you can start to bring into your routine. So for today's, to start this off, because I thought I might do this for each podcast, we'll see how we go, thought I'd start off with this affirmation. And so it is, for some people look for happiness while others create it. And this is it's really simple, and I'd like to write this down today and just take this around with you for the day, and just notice how this makes you feel, knowing that, happiness is something that is up to you to create. But the thing to take away from that is it's important to know what actually makes you happy in the first place. Do you know what it is that fills your glass and fills your energy? Do you know what it is that makes you smile? Because if you're constantly surrounded with things that drain your energy, or you're constantly surrounded with things that are negative and putting you into a negative frame of mind, you're always going to take that energy around with you. And there's certain things that I know that fill my glass and that make me feel energized and make me feel motivated and make me get to the end of the day knowing that I've had a really great day. And those things are things like education. For me is something that's really important. So I love to start my day with my journaling, but then I love to learn at the start of my day as well. And so this is where I'll head out for the walk, and I'll listen to some great podcasts, and I'll be listening and getting inspired and motivated on things that I want to implement in my day. And they're just from really successful people. And this will be things to do with business, is like marketing, through to, I love Small Business Big Marketing, which is by Timbo Reid. He's an Australian podcaster, and I love listening to that show because he's interviewing all these small business people all around the world, and they're just doing great things. So it doesn't always have to be about fitness and nutrition. It's about what makes you feel inspired. And the other thing that makes me have a great day as well is having a purpose. What am I wanting to achieve this day? And when I start the day, it's always making sure that I put 3 main goals that I want to achieve in this day. When you put more than 3, generally it gets too overwhelming. So put 3 goals down. If you achieve those 3 things and you get more done, that's awesome. But put 3 things down and have purpose into your day, productivity. And the other thing that make sure that I get into my day is lots of activity and movement, because if I get to the end of the day and I haven't had that activity or movement, I feel really flat and lethargic, and my glass isn't feeling awesome. So just by knowing what makes you happy in the first place, is going to help you create your ideal days and help you find that happiness. And so while some people are out there searching for this magical thing, other people are there creating the days that are their days and owning their life and owning that day ahead of them. And so the little simple steps that you do each day you need a little bit of discipline to do them, and you need to make sure that those steps happen day in and day out, because when you don't do those steps, you'll find that you'll fall off track. But here's another amazing quote for you to take away from this wee spiel, is that you find freedom and you find happiness through discipline. So when you have routines and structure in your day, and you have like productivity goals, and you have things that you're wanting to achieve, and you have a workout scheduled at 10 a.m. in the morning, and you achieve those things through discipline and you just get them done, you gain this sense of freedom and this sense of energy and this weight off your shoulders. Whereas if you have this kind of like, oh, I've got to do this, or maybe I should do some exercise, or I start to feel guilty because I haven't done exercise, or vice versa, like I've got so many things to do, you just have this weight in your whole sense of your day, carrying it around with you, and you just end up getting hardly anything done, and you just have this whole sense of being busy and just got so much to do. But when you have a plan and you have structure in your days and you set your day up with what you're wanting to achieve, you gain freedom through discipline. So the wee affirmation for you to take through the day is, some people look for happiness while others create it. And then, so first you need to know what makes you happy, and then gain that freedom through discipline. So actually getting things done instead of just being busy with so much to do. So the next thing I want to share with you is a fantastic book that I have been reading, and this is Grain Brain. And this is like #1 New York Times bestseller, and it's about the devastating truth and the effects of wheat, sugar and carbs have on the brain, and it gives you like a wee plan and a whole lot of education behind it. And it's written by David Perlmutter, who's an MD, and he basically takes the lid off all the medical literature that's been around, and he talks about how the carbs in our modern diet are destroying our brain, and also talks about grains and how they're causing ADHD, anxiety, chronic headaches, depression and heaps more. He explains what happens in the brain when you encounter like these ingredients and additives that are in our fruit and our snack bars and the ingredients in the supermarket shelves. And he also talks about why the brain actually thrives on fat, and how getting a good quality real food diet can help improve brain function and the brain cells. And he also talks about how you can take control of the smart genes in your body and reprogram your like genetic disposition and get a healthier body. So if you're looking for a new book to get educated and inspired on, that's a great book for you to have a wee read of and add that to your collection. So new this week in the online gym, we are hitting week #3 of the boot camp, and coming up this week is we've got another chance to get on the leaderboard, and this is with an exercise challenge. So that's on the Wednesday workout. You can do it any time that you want, and the great thing about this boot camp is that it is in the online gym, and anyone can join at any time, and it's all there ready for you to hit action. But if you did start 2 weeks ago, and you're hitting week 3 now, keep up all the awesome work. Make sure you check out all the images that are on Facebook and the online gym VIP Facebook page. I'm getting like all those motivational images of what workouts on today, the food we're eating this day, and yeah, just keeping yourself inspired and motivated and staying on track. And yeah, so not only has it been like, we're almost at the halfway point, and so it's so awesome seeing everybody doing this bootcamp together. And there's people starting like just this week as well, so It's awesome just having people all over the world giving this bootcamp a crack and getting really involved with it, because it's not just about exercise. This is like, the exercise is in there and the exercise is awesome and it's challenging and it's tough, but this is like a holistic bootcamp, so I go right into mindset. And so yesterday, gosh, I had to think then, yesterday, which was a Sunday, was the week 2 debrief. And so every Sunday I do a live debrief, and this was foam rolling and a meditation that I did, and I talked all about the benefits of meditation and why it's so fantastic for our bodies and why we want to put some time into doing this. And I also have added in a new video to the bootcamp, and it's all about this daily boost routine that I do each morning. And so each week I'm adding a new layer to this transformational process that you're taking your body through. And so these were 2 new layers that we've added to the routine alongside the foam rolling and the stretching. And then this week we hit a new intensity with the exercise. So the reason I talked about meditation in this bootcamp is because it's something that, if you have never tried meditation, we tend to put it into this kind of scary sort of dippy sort of bracket it's not quite, you're just not quite there, or you're just too busy being busy, and it's just not something you ever want to think about, or you just don't know what meditation is, so you just have never tried it. And the thing that I want to help you get past is the power that comes through meditation and what meditation actually is. So the way I kind of explain it to a lot of clients is that time when you go to bed and you're lying in bed, and it's that time before you fall asleep where you're just lying there and all your thoughts of your day are running through your head, and you might be planning the day, you might be reflecting upon the day, but you're lying there and your goal is to fall asleep, but for a few minutes you're lying there and your thoughts are all going through your head. So if you take away the goal of falling asleep and you find some time in your day where you just sit, you close your eyes and you just let your thoughts come and go, and you just allow yourself to stop. This is a way to bring your meditation in. So there's 3 things that will happen when you meditate, and meditation is basically taking some time in your day to stop. So you might get outside, you might sit in a chair that you find really comfortable, you might just close your eyes and just think. You might lie on the ground with your palms up and your feet falling wide. You might sit on the ground with your legs crossed, or even on a cushion boosting you up. It's all about finding a place that is really comfortable for you, and then just sitting and being still. So then when you sit and you be still and you close your eyes, there's 3 things that'll happen. First thing that'll happen is that you will sit there and you'll have all these thoughts going through your head, and these thoughts will be just jumping through from one thought to another, from things you need to be doing. Some thoughts will be negative, some thoughts will be positive, and you'll just be lying there and you just got all these racing thoughts going through your head. The thing to understand is that's perfectly okay to be happening. That's just a sign that you've got lots going on in your life, and that this is where you're at this moment, because no matter what we do, there's always something we can learn from it. So if when you first try meditation and this is what's happening, just allow that to happen and go with the flow. The second thing that will happen through meditation is that you will fall asleep, and this is just a sign that your body is tired, and so allow this to happen, take the rest and let your body do what it needs to do. The third thing that will happen is that you will be able to slow your thoughts down. You'll be able to allow your thoughts to be there, but your focus will put them in the distance, and you allow yourself to channel in and focus on your breath, or to focus on something like your heartbeat, and you're able just to channel your focus into that area and let your thoughts go into the distance. And you might find that you're able to do that for 30 seconds, and then a thought just races through, and then you're like, whoa, come on back, and then you bring yourself back to your breath and you slow down and you allow those thoughts to get to the back again. And so what the goal is that over time you're able to make the thoughts get more into the distance and spend more time focusing on your breath. And when you spend more time focusing on your breath, what happens is that time when you are focusing on that one thing, it becomes more and more powerful, and you're able to get stiller and you're able to turn your brain off, and you might notice that those thoughts have completely disappeared and you're able to completely channel in to that thing that you're focusing on. And for some people, they like having some really harmonious music in the background is what they want to be, which helps them relax, and this is great to help channel in your channel out your thoughts and really come in. And you might want to focus on the music, or you might want to focus on your heartbeat or your breath or something else that's got some rhythmical flow to it. And the reason this is so powerful is because our life, if you imagine your body like a peace sign, you've got your yin and you've got your yang. Your yin is where it's about energy being burnt and energy coming out of your body, and so you're constantly expelling all this energy. So this is things like work and stress and exercise and even eating, just movement, all those intense movement. And this is the type of things that take energy away from your body, but these are the things that also make your body stronger and that we need to be doing. Then you've got your yang energy, which is things like sleeping, rest, hydration and breathing, and these are things that build your energy and help fill your glass up and motivate you. And the thing is, we need a complete uniform balance between these two things, and we need to make sure that we have got that balance so that we remain healthy and so that we're able to get strong. Because if you imagine, like when you do a weights program, you lift a weight for like 10 reps and then you might rest for a minute, and that's about allowing the muscle to get stronger, but then you give it that rest period to allow it to adapt and then to allow you to go again. What we do in our lives is that we just go and we go and we go and we go. We never give it that rest period. And the way I want you to look at this is that rest period is kind of like your meditation or bringing things into your day that allow you to slow down. Because here's the cool thing. The frontal cortex of your brain is what is required for decision making, for focus, for like cognitive function, for movement, for all those intricate parts of your day. Your frontal cortex is where all that happens. And when you stop and you do meditation or you focus on your breath, this is the rest period for your frontal cortex. So like your bicep needs a rest period, so does your frontal cortex, and this is where it gets stronger. This is when your memory improves. This is when your decision making improves. This is when your learning improves. And this is where, you know, those moments when you've been trying to find an answer for something and then it just suddenly comes to you. It is in these moments that you allow the frontal cortex of your brain to stop thinking that those thoughts come in. So it's like the rest period of a muscle on your body. Your brain needs the rest period as well. And so this is why bringing some time into your day to allow your brain to switch off is incredibly powerful for making you a better human being. So the whole philosophy of Forever Fit is about improving your health and turning you into the most amazing human being that your body's designed to be. And so that's more than fitness and more than nutrition. It's about lifestyle as well. So I always talk about fitness, nutrition and lifestyle. And so this is where getting the balance between the yin and the yang in your day and making sure that you have got some moments in your day when you stop and you unwind. So my goal for you is to give meditation a go, but if it's your first time giving it a go, don't overcomplicate it. Just take some time when you sit outside, get some vitamin D in the body and just be still. Be confident enough, or allow yourself some time. Like, don't think you need to sit outside with a book or a magazine or something. Just sit outside and breathe. just sit there and be still, and just, even if it's only for a couple of minutes, notice that power that has on just allowing yourself to de-stress, to unwind and recover. Because when we're in our day-to-day lives, we're constantly in this like sympathetic state, which is your stress state, which is what your body is designed to do when a lion comes to chase you. Your sympathetic nervous system comes on and your adrenaline goes up, cortisol goes up, and you're ready to run from that tiger. But if you're constantly doing that, it affects how long you spend in a parasympathetic state. And that parasympathetic state is what is involved in your rest and digest, is what it's involved in, like allowing you to digest your food, allowing you to get nutrients from your food, allowing you to detoxify your body, allow you to breathe, to deliver oxygen to all your body. So we need to make sure that we get that balance, and we're not always constantly stressing our body out and putting it into that sympathetic state. So if you're trying to gain more energy in your body, and you're trying to lift your energy and reduce fatigue, and you're trying to improve your skin health, all of these things require you to digest your food properly. And so this is where you want to put effort into your day to make your body be able to digest and use your food properly. And the thing is, all of these things do require a little bit of effort initially, and they require like a little bit of discipline to help you get them in there. And I'm terrible. I'm an absolute shocker when it comes to chewing my food and sitting down to slowly eat. But that's one of those layers that I'm just trying to add on to things. You know, I've brought in some meditation, I've brought in foam rolling and doing body boosting and clay mass, and I've brought in walking, and I've brought in all these layers that are just making my days better and making myself better. And that's why I'm sharing it with you, because every single one of us, even someone who you think has got everything sorted, is constantly searching for ways to make things better. And that's what life's about. It's constantly trying to make yourself better and stronger and learn more. And that's what I'm trying to do as well. And I am a work in progress, and that's why, like for me, I have to sit down and make sure that I sit and I chew my food, and because whenever I eat with a whole lot of people, except for one person who I know always eats me, and she knows who she is, beats me at eating, I'm always the first person finishing their food, and I have to learn to eat slower, and I have to learn to do this more so by myself as well, because it's easy to eat slow when there's lots of people around at the table. But when you're eating fast all the time, it affects your digestion and affects everything. So don't think that all these things you have to be adding. It's adding a new habit to each day, to each week, setting yourself a goal for the month. And your goal for the month might simply be, I'm going to walk 30 minutes 5 days a week, and I'm going to make sure I drink more water. And that might be the goal for the month, and then you keep that goal there, and that goal then sits with you for the year and stays with you for a lifetime. But then each month you add a new layer to that goal. And even if your first goal is starting off with, cutting out processed foods, or moving to one food ingredient pantry, or whatever your goal is, it's all about just adding those layers to it and adding it up. So meditation, don't overcomplicate it. It's just about getting the balance between yin and yang. And when you can find time in your day to stop and slow down, you're going to find how powerful that meditation practice can become. And the best way to start it is to start with 5 minutes in the morning, and then try 5 minutes in the afternoon. See if you can go for twice a day. And if not, just 5 minutes starting there is a great start. And then you want to gradually increase that. And imagine if you were to do 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes in the evening, and notice the power that has on your day and has on the productivity and what you're achieving in your day, and also just the mindset of what you're wanting to get out of the day. And you want to use things as well, like after you've done your meditation or slowed down, or you might like to use this throughout your meditation, is using things like affirmations and just visualizing your day ahead, what you're wanting to achieve. Just getting yourself into the right mindset of a really productive and powerful day ahead. So the other thing I want to talk to you today about is, following on from this meditation, is what exactly is like stress and what does this mean. So stress is something that our bodies are designed to handle, and the problem lies is that we're constantly exposing our body to more stress than it's able to cope with. And there's different ways that our body adapts to certain stresses, and this changes according to each person, and how you react to stress is going to be different to how I react to stress. And this is all depends on like genetic disposition, your history, your diet, lifestyle, how fast you recover, and how healthy your body is at this point. So what you may be able to handle today is different to what you were able to handle 20 years ago, and with improved diet and improved balance in your life, what you may be able to handle in a year's time. So how your body adapts to stress is completely different across the board and could change on a day-to-day and a year-to-year basis. So stress is a physical, chemical or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension, and may be a cause, a factor in disease and the causation of disease as well. So when a body becomes stressed, it releases hormones to adapt, and that overproduction of hormones can alter your body's balance and basically turn its ability to handle stress and deal with it off. So it doesn't matter where the stress is coming from. The body is like a system of systems. So no matter what is causing that stress, so this stress is when your body's moving into that sympathetic state. It's as if it's being chased by the tiger. So no matter where the body, what is causing that stress, there's only so much stress that the body can handle, and it can only handle a certain amount. And so when that stress is constant and when there's like inflammation happening in the body, this is where like autoimmune conditions develop. So stress can come from all angles: chemical, biochemical and physiological, hidden internal de-stress or malfunction. Too much sugar and processed foods can cause stress. Wrong diet for your metabolic type causes stress. So if you were a protein type sort of person and you suddenly went on a vegan or fruitarian diet, this is going to cause stress, and vice versa. Consuming inflammatory foods, so foods that aren't right for your body and foods that your body can't handle. Food additives, pesticides and herbicides, so this is where making sure you're trying to get as organic as possible. Drugs, alcohol and caffeine have a huge effect on the stress in your body. Blood sugar regulations, this is why one of the most powerful things that you can learn when I'm helping clients or inside the online gym, I'm constantly talking about balancing your blood sugar levels. And because when you eat right for your metabolic type and you're eating the right foods for your body, you have this constant energy. You feel a sense of wellness and satisfied after a meal, and your blood sugar levels remain stable. And then throughout your day, you're eating foods that keep your blood sugar levels stable. And so if you're eating foods that spike your blood sugar, drop your blood sugar, this is going to cause stress on your body. The other thing that causes stress is chronic cardio and over-exercising, or the wrong type of exercise for what your body needs at this stage, because that can change as well. So for somebody with a whole lot of adrenal fatigue to suddenly be out there doing intense workouts and long drawn-out cardio can cause some huge damage. And somebody who's sitting on a couch doing no exercise can also cause a whole lot of damage as well. So also allergies and an active immune system can cause stress. Exogenous hormones and like an inflamed immune system, antibiotics and painkillers and contraceptive pill, parasites, fungus, bacteria and viruses can also cause stress on your body. So when your body is stressed, it produces epinephrine, which is adrenaline, And this is your fight or flight response, and this is what your body's designed to do when it's stressed. When adrenaline is produced, our body conserves energy away from its non-survival activities. So this is where the energy moves away from digestion and from recovery, and it moves to where the body needs it to be able to handle the stressful situation. So the blood gets pumped from the skeletal and muscular system away from the digestive and from your brain function. And overexposure to high levels of stress affects the optimal function of your gut and your brain health. So this is why, for example, when I had high levels of adrenal fatigue, I was just reckless. So I'd drop a glass, I'd bump into walls, and that's how I got the nickname Wrecker, because I was just clumsy and blonde. And I also found that I would mince my words, and I found it hard to find words. And even though my spelling is not the best at the best of times, and my old grammar, it was worse. So this is when you've got adrenal fatigue, your brain function, your cognitive function disappears. So this is really clear when somebody has adrenal fatigue, and they'll complain of symptoms like brain fog, unable to concentrate, they mix their words, dizziness, or reckless behaviour. And another big thing that happened to me was that I had this is kind of when I hit my peak of it, is that I got incredibly dizzy, and it lasted for about 2 days, where I stood up and the whole room spun, and then I just had to lie down on the couch, and every time I stood up, this whole dizziness came about me, and it was yuck. And that kind of woke me up. And the thing about symptoms and all these sorts of things, they're incredible signs from your body, and you kind of take them as, they're a wake-up call. And if you don't listen to them, that's when more scarier stuff is likely to happen. But symptoms are a fantastic blessing in disguise for you, just to take a hold of them, appreciate them, and then fix them. Because someone with adrenal fatigue, your body is telling you, lie down, slow down, and rest up. If you ignore that, that's when more things come to it. So your body knows what you need, so listen to it, and it will talk really loudly to what you need to be doing. Often when you do get adrenal fatigue, it goes hand in hand with digestion and malabsorption issues as well, because when you're constantly in the stress state, you're taking away your body's ability to be able to digest food. So the blood flow is going to your limbs, it's going to your heart, it's going to pumping adrenaline through your body. So that simple function of digestion and absorbing foods and delivering nutrients to your body, that's all being lost because you're in this stress state. So the simple act of getting the yin and the yang and the balance in your day can allow your body to reduce cortisol, can help you digest food properly, and can help you get more nutrients from your food as well. So what exactly cortisol is cortisol is a hormone that plays a really powerful role in our day-to-day energy. And so when cortisol is working well, it naturally elevates in the morning when the sun comes up, and as the day goes down, so does our cortisol levels. And there's a natural rhythm in a day, and it plays a really powerful role in our body. So when we wake up in the morning, we feel a sense of when we wake up healthy in the morning, we have a sense of energy, and then as we cruise through the day, that energy naturally will start to just go down. And the powerful thing is that when you hit 9 or 10 o'clock at night, this is when cortisol is at its lowest, and this is when you should be feeling really sleepy, because when cortisol goes down, melatonin comes up, and melatonin is where the repair and the recovery happens. So cortisol and melatonin are like the yin and the yang of your body. You need cortisol and you need melatonin. If you stuff up your cortisol levels through too much stress, you're going to mess up your melatonin levels in the evening. So that whole balance is really crucial. So the other thing that's really important to know is that cortisol is like a natural anti-inflammatory or painkiller. So often when cortisol is high, we don't feel pain as much, but when cortisol is low, the pain might increase. So this is often really noticeable when you have an injury. Often the pain will subside when cortisol levels are naturally up, And when the cortisol is low when you sleep, you might find that the pain of an injury is actually increased. The impact of too much cortisol, however, is that it is the role that it plays with like the way your body burns body fat, proteins, and carbohydrates. So you need to make sure you've got a good natural balance of cortisol in your day, and that you're trying to make sure that you're getting good levels, like good quality food into your diet. So if you've got a poor diet, this is going to be creating stress at an internal level, so this is going to be increasing cortisol levels. If you're eating the wrong foods for your metabolic type, inflammatory foods, a poor lifestyle, you've got bad sleep habits, or you've got a stressful job and you're just not getting the balance right in your day, all of these things are going to elevate adrenaline, and this is going to affect the cortisol that's produced. And when you have high cortisol levels, this increases your weight, increases your insulin, increases your cravings and your appetite. You don't have, here's a simple test for you. Go lose 2 hours of sleep per night and see what happens to your carbohydrate cravings the next day. As soon as you lose sleep in your night, insulin, like your cravings for carbs, skyrocket. So this is a really powerful test for you to understand the power that cortisol has on like your appetite, your cravings, and the way that your body is going to be using carbohydrates, fats, and proteins for fuel. So making sure that you're getting a beautiful balance in your cortisol levels throughout your day is about getting that natural rhythm in your day. So getting to bed on time, falling asleep by 10 o'clock at night and waking up when the sun comes up is one of the best things that you can do to help yourself burn body fat, help yourself get healthy, reduce inflammation, decrease insulin, decrease cravings, decrease your appetite, increase your sleep quality, increase your libido, and increase like muscle and reduce body fat. So getting that rhythm happening is crucial. The impact of low cortisol is if you have too high levels of cortisol, this can affect the health. This can affect your health just as much as high levels of cortisol. So signs and symptoms of low cortisol are things like shakiness or sleep issues, blood sugar fluctuations, sugar cravings, and a needing to constantly eat, chronic fatigue syndrome, allergies, a cold body temperature, and stressed out feelings, and kind of a sense of low or depression. So we want to make sure that we've got healthy cortisol levels throughout our day, and the aim is to find the balance in our lives to achieve this type of wellness and to achieve this proper function of cortisol through our adrenals so that we aren't burnt out. So like I mentioned above, it's about the yin and the yang, so making sure that your life is in balance, and so that you are designed to be able to handle some stress, so the yang of your life, and then you're able to balance that out with the yin, because there's always going to be times when you get stressed. There's always going to be weeks where it's just manic, and there's going to be weekends or days or evenings where you lose sleep. But the point is that you're able to bring it back and find that balance again. So constant stress, whether it's emotional, environmental, or physical, is where we start to get like autoimmune conditions, and our body starts to scream a little louder, and those signs and symptoms turn up in greater repetition. So our body works in rhythms and has a natural rhythm with the hormone production, and the more you mess with that natural rhythm, the more you're going to affect your well-being. So everything you do physically plays a role on your stress levels, just as everything you eat and how you run your lifestyle. So this is why when I'm always talking about things, it's always about your fitness, your nutrition, and your lifestyle. You've got to get the balance right between all three, and you've got to be able to find what's working for your body, like get the food right, because the other thing that affects your cortisol levels is hidden internal stresses. And so if you're eating a food that is inflammatory to your body, it's going to be spiking cortisol. And here's the thing to understand. If you've constantly got this spike in cortisol and this adrenaline response in your body, over time your body is going to not be able to produce the cortisol that it needs. And so this, for one person, this could be a few months and they're in that constant high cortisol levels, and for the other person it could be 5, 6, 15 years, and they're constantly in this high cortisol level, but then at some point your body goes, I can't do this anymore, I can't keep up with this cortisol demand. And so what it does is it starts to steal from other pathways in your bodies, and this is where pregnenolone steal happens, and it starts to divert and it starts to steal cortisol from your testosterone and your estrogen pathways, and this is where your other hormones start to get affected, and you might start to get estrogen dominance, you might start to get testosterone dominance, you might get melatonin decrease, and all these things start to happen at an internal level. And this is where then you might find your energy drops, you get fatigued, you might not be able to fall asleep at night, you're carrying this extra body weight that you can't get rid of, and this is all due to getting that balance right in your day. So it all comes back to managing your stress levels. We're not designed to constantly go and be busy all the time. We need the balance between the yin and the yang. We need to work on our strength, and we need to work on our speed and our endurance, but then we need to work on our yoga and our walking, and we need to get rest and meditation and read a book and slow down, and just getting that real balance is one of the most powerful things that you can do to help fight fatigue, to help lift your energy, to help become happier. And those little moments when you do sit down with a journal and you do write down what's important to you and what you're wanting to achieve in your day, those are the type of things that really motivate you and lift you and fill your glass up. And that's that whole yin balance. So when you do things like that, sets you up to go, okay, right, I know what I want to achieve in this day, I know what my day needs to happen, and this is what creates that whole sense of like happiness, that affirmation I talked about at the start, and that whole sense of purpose, and you just feel like you've got this energy about you because you have a goal ahead for your day and what you want to achieve. And there's nothing more powerful and more motivating than getting to the end of the day and knowing that you just completely made that day your own and you made it work and it was exactly the day that you wanted. And this doesn't mean to say that we can't all change our jobs and we like the day to day. There is things that change that you can't change in your day, and so this isn't me saying that go sit on the beach for a day or anything silly like that, but it's about, okay, what can you do to set your day up, because your day is different to my day, different to your neighbour's day. So what can you do to set your day up so that it's a more positive day and a day that is more ideal to you? So only you know that, and you know what fills your glass up, you know what makes you more energized, what makes you happy, and all the little things that make you smile. And there's things that there's so many little tweaks that you can do that make you smile that little bit more. And something I learnt was that create a list of things that give you energy and things that drain your energy. So on the things that take your energy, it might be walking into your bedroom and the beds are made, bathrooms filthy, washing to do, when you walk to the house it's like the carpet needs a vacuum, or you walk into the kitchen and there's dishes all over the bench, or the whole list of things that drain your energy that you are aware of that just make you just pluck your energy out. Then write a list of things that make you smile, make your heart sing. And so it might be for me it was, I love walking into the bedroom and the bed's beautifully made, there's no clothes on the floor, everything's tidy, and it's just a really relaxing place to walk in. And so for me, what's important for me is that room is always like that. Then it's things like making sure that the kitchen bench, when there's no dishes on there and it's just clean, that fills my energy glass up. Vacuuming when you walk into the house and you've been away for the day, making sure that's everything's fills your glass up. The other thing that fills my glass up is flowers in a vase that I've picked from the garden. When I walk in and those flowers are there, it's just that little thing that makes you eyes sparkle and just fills your glass up that little bit more. And the thing is, you write a list. So write a list of the things that drain your energy, write a list of things that fill your energy glass up. And the more you're aware of this, the more you're able to set your day up so that you're able to do more things that fill your glass up. And so there are going to be days when you rush out of the house and you know that it's going to be a bomb site when you come home, and that's okay. But what you want to do is put strategies in place so that at least, so you might get up a little bit earlier, or you might do something a little bit earlier, or you might like something that, tell your partner that this is important to you, that, the bench is tidy, or it's important to you that the bed's made this way each morning. And when they understand that that actually fills your glass up, and when you're doing it the other way, it's not about you being nitpicky and really anal, for want of a better word. It's something that is actually important to you because it makes you feel happy and it makes you feel energized. And the more of these things that fill your glass up, and the more energized you are, the more happier you are to be around, the more you do your exercise, the more you're likely you are to eat the right foods. Whereas if you're constantly exposed to all the things that are negative and drain your energy in your day, you're just going to have this feeling of, I really want some chocolate right now, I really want some junk food, I feel sorry for myself and there's just too much to do and life's just dull. So this little exercise is incredibly powerful to help you make your days happier. And so, my goal for you to take away from this is how can you bring some more balance into your life, like the yin and the yang balance, and how can you create like your more ideal days, and how can you like understand what makes you happy. So happiness isn't something that turns up. I mean, obviously it does in some cases, but it's up to you to make your days better. And the only way to make your days better is to know what actually makes you happy. And so get down with a piece of paper, write down what makes you unhappy, write down all the little things that make you happy, and like that whole daily boost of the beautiful smells of essential oils. I love putting oil drops in a oil burner so that when I'm actually in my office, I've got the smell of essential oils, and I like a peppermint or a lemon in the morning. It's the most uplifting thing. And when I do that each day, it's like this grounding experience that I know today is going to be good because I've set it up perfectly, and that this whole everything, I've just got this sense of feeling really good, so I get what I want done in that day because I've got all these little things in place that I make happen. And I know there's always going to be things that don't, and you're going to think, I can't because, I've got 5 kids running around the house, or I've got my work, I haven't got enough time. And don't, like, what your life is like is different to what anyone else's life is, right? So it's about still understanding what makes you happy and what you can do in your current life to make those days better. And so it could be a simple little thing of picking some flowers on your way home, picking some flowers at the garden, putting that in a vase in your kitchen, and that is enough just to make your heart sing when you see that, and just makes you feel really good. And little things like that, when you just add layer upon layer, those type of things fill your energy up, make you happier, make you more likely to want to do, stay on track with your health, make you a better person to be around, make you want to just be better. So simple little strategies. So just coming back to that affirmation, so I want you to take away with you today is some people look for happiness while others create it. So knowing what makes you happy is the first step, and this is where you write down this list. And then the other thing I talked about was gain freedom through discipline. So when you know what makes you happy, when you know that you can create great days, then get disciplined in finding routines so that those day-to-day things are set up so that each day becomes a great one. Hey, so thanks for tuning into this episode. I hope you got lots out of that. If you've got any questions or you'd like me to answer a question on next week's episode, please get in touch. Otherwise, I'll see you really soon for your next show.